test for mites using a homemade sugar shaker. First, we locate the queen. All right, so the lesson here is put your bell on before you open the beehive.
Okay, so you're looking for the queen.
First thing is I find the queen bee so she doesn't end up taking a powder. There she is. All right, she's not marked, but I found her. Okay. She's right here. She's got a lot of open brood still. She's still laying eggs. They're raising brood this time of year. And there's not that much honey in there. I might be a little worried. I'm not gonna have to feed these bees. All right, put the queen bee over here where she's safe. I know she won't get harmed over there. We've got a mason jar. Pint size works best. Largemouth works best. Number 8 hardware cloth in place of the solid lid for a mason jar with my metal ring. Got my powdered sugar and a half-cup measuring cup. I'm going to take a frame of brood. I want the nurse bees. The most mites in the hive will be on the frame with open brood. I'm going to shake those off. Now I've got bees in this container. We're going to measure out half a cup of bees. Okay, I'm going to put that in the container. Put the lid on. Put the rest of the bees back in the hive. I'm going to take about two tablespoons of powdered sugar and put that over the screen here. That's enough to cover the bees. And then we do as the name for the treatment implies, we roll them around in there. We can sugar shake them or we can sugar roll them. Do this for about a minute. That'll dislodge the mites from the bees. So I want to shake them around a little bit. Don't get too rough or you can't hurt them, but just roll them around a bit. The powdered sugar coats the bees. They get all covered with it, and then the mite loses its grip on the bee. It can't hang on to the bee anymore. So after the bees have been in here for a minute, we shake the sugar out. Leave the bees in, shake them. Shake the sugar along with the mites out. If you have some water to spray on there, that dissolves the sugar, and then you can see the mites. So far I see 2. So I got some other debris on this drip tray, but there's a mite there, and that's not one. That's a piece of wax. There's a mite. I see 2 mites. I'll dump these bees back in. No harm done. They'll clean each other up and have fun doing it. Do we want to do a comparative alcohol wash in this one? All right. Honey Company here, we are testing for mites. We could just assume that all colonies have mites, which they pretty much do, but we want to see what the mite levels are. So in order to do that, we're going to do an alcohol wash. I've got a little Bee Supply available mite checker. It's plastic, it's got a little screen in it. You put alcohol in it, and we dump some bees in there, and that'll dislodge the mites from the bees and give us an accurate count of our mite levels. Previously, we've taken the queen and I put her safe over here in a nuke box while I go through the colony here and find a frame of brood which has nurse bees on it, which will have the highest count of mites on them. So I want a frame of brood with bees on it. I'm going to shake the bees off into a container. And then I'm going to measure out 300 individual bees, which is a half a cup. I'll put it up to the fill line. There we go. That's good. All right, now I'm going to put them in the mite wash. Sorry, sweeties, that will kill those bees, but it will give us an accurate account. Better we have a good idea of what's going on with our mites in the hive and kill a few bees rather than kill the whole colony. So I'm going to agitate this for about a minute. That'll dislodge the mites from the bees, and they'll float through the screen, sink to the bottom, and then we can count them. Previously did a powder sugar roll in this, and we counted 2 mites out of 300. So we're going to use the alcohol wash method. It's more accurate than the powder sugar method, we think. We're going to have a count here in a minute. We'll see.
1 minute later.
Okay. All right, we want to remove the basket, the washing machine basket, and the mites will be in the bottom of this container. Well, let's count them. All right, well, there's 1, 2, 3. I see 3.
So probably not that statistically different from 2.
No. So the powdered sugar method works. It works okay. It gives you an accurate enough count. Got bees in the powdered sugar. If you're going to use this powdered sugar in the kitchen later, you want to get all the bees out. That was just a joke, you know. This is a dedicated bag of sugar just for treating bees with. We don't use this in the kitchen. Yeah, so if your bees have some mites but not an overload level, and you choose not to treat, we're going to assume because they have a low level of mites that they have some mite resistance. So those are the bees we want to keep, and those are the bees that we don't want to treat for mites. But is that reality? Does that really happen? The mite levels in this aren't sufficient enough to kill the colony, we think. So I'm not going to treat this colony, and we're going to come back with a follow-up video this next spring and see if they're dead. Now, if they're dead, how do we know it wasn't the mites? Welcome to the bee industry.
So the reality of treating bees in our industry is that we want to move towards treatment-free beekeeping, but it's hard to do because we also don't want our bees to die, right? So
Yeah.
that we're constantly like, maybe even in a battle with ourselves to decide if we should treat them or not. Like, so some days we're like, yeah, we're gonna treat all of our bees because we just need them to stay alive. And some days we're like, we need to, you know, let's not treat and see if we can get some survivor stock out of these bees. It's just like a never-ending flip-flop back and forth depending on the day.
Today we tested for mites using a alcohol wash, and we used a powdered sugar wash. Check for the level of Varroa mites. This is fall 2022.
If you liked this video, be sure to check out our beekeeping courses at thehoneycompany.com. We're offering 6 full-length beekeeping courses for beginning, intermediate, and advanced beekeepers. See you there.